Hey everyone, welcome to Unshackled with Tash. Hope everyone's had the most amazing week, and I hope you got a lot out of the last topic, which was emotional intimacy and relationships. We're coming to the end of the educational side. We are going to start bringing in some speakers and some strategies to help you with all this work that I've shared. And today is going to be a very brief one. Today is actually on stress management and time management. And, you know, in today's fast-paced world, stress and overwhelm have become the norm. And many people feel like they're constantly running on empty and they're juggling responsibilities and they're struggling to keep on top of everything, okay? And the problem with stress is it has such a horrible impact on your body. You know, here's the thing, when we talk about stress management and time management, what if the issue wasn't a lack of time itself, but the way we manage our time? You know, it's an energy and mental space that we're using, okay? And mastering stress and time for a clearer mind takes some strategies, okay? Stress hijacks your brain. But you can actually take back control of this, guys. And stress is, like, I cannot believe how much damage stress did to my body after my accident and everything I went through, okay? When in constant stress, only 50% of your brain is functioning, okay? Now, there is an amazing podcast from Kerwin Ray, who, bless his soul, is no longer with us. Amazing mentor who I've watched since 2018. It's a 6-minute video on the effect of stress, the effect of stress on the brain. It is scary. It is so scary what stress does to the brain. It's horrible. So we're looking at the prefrontal cortex. It shrinks, so it weakens decision making. We've got the amygdala, which becomes hyperactive, heightened fear response. We've got the hippocampus, which weakens, so there's your memory and learning decline. Now, common symptoms are brain fog, anxiety, emotional overwhelm, forgetfulness, and they're just common signs, okay? But when the body is in constant stress, and I mean chronic stress, it doesn't switch off. It has no off button. The hidden cost of that is increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, sweaty, fatigue, hair loss, skin irritations, headaches, increased cortisol, brain fog, fatigue, emotional dysregulation, mood swings, impulsive reactions, reduced problem-solving ability, feeling stuck, long-term effects, burnout, anxiety, sleep issues, and it's hard until you take back the control. So what we need is an awareness. Identify the stress, identify the trigger, and so here we are. When we have the awareness and you address, when you are aware and you recognize the trigger or the stress, we need to take action, okay? Implement daily strategies to regain that focus and reprogram the neural pathways. So shift habits and priorities to reduce the overwhelm. So, for example, ways that you can alleviate the stress and change the way you do things, like with action and reprogramming, is exercise, swim, grounding, sitting with music and a guitar or a musical instrument, sitting in peace, journaling, music, yoga, meditation, nature, walks, movements. Pick up a phone and ask to talk to or ask someone to help you. Okay, I want you to find somebody that's going to help you, not enable it, not feed the stress, not jump in the hole with you. I want you to pick the phone up to somebody to say, can you please help me through this? Okay. Now, there's an amazing speaker, Simon Sinek, who talks about the 8-minute rule. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have heard of this. And it's about making an agreement with a friend that if I say I just need 8 minutes, that means you need to talk. And where that came from was one day his friend rang, didn't leave a message, just left a random message that they always do, was, oh, hey, just rang to say hi. And he wasn't aware that this friend of his was going through something pretty tough. And when he found out that they didn't call him back or say, hey, I really need you, he was annoyed, but not in a, I'm pissed off at you, but, hey, tell me that you need me. Tell me that you need me. So their rule became 8 minutes. Do you have 8 minutes? And if you've got 8 minutes, that's great, okay? Then they know that you need to talk, that you need to let some steam off, or that you need to vent or to just get something off your chest, okay? It's so much better to get it out of your system than to have it sit in there, okay? Always go back to the above the line thinking when it comes to stress rather than the below the line thinking, because that's where you're going to get stuck and get into trouble, okay? Above the line thinking helps you reframe. So we go back to that reframe and refocus, okay? And above the line is soul level, and it's from the heart space. And below is ego and judgment, and it gets you to spiral. And then it doesn't serve you because you're looking for more and more evidence to support that belief system that you've got going, that everything has turned to shit, or it is too hard, or the stress is too high, or whatever it is. Now, something I'm very, very conscious of is what they call the SUDS level, which is what they used when I was going through my healing through the hospital with my PTSD. And the SUDS were from 0 to 10. Now, my kids were told when I got out of the hospital to monitor my SUDS levels. So if they got to a certain stage, they would have to ring my doctor, okay, because I would need regulating. Now, this is somebody who's in chronic stress, and there's a lot of people out there in chronic stress and they're not aware, but their body's aware, and their reactions are aware, and their relationships are aware, and all of those things, right? Now, a 7 to 8 means you can't pull yourself back on your own. You need some help, right? And the problem is when we're at that state, we delete, we distort, and we generalize, and we find any evidence to support our story. So what we need is somebody to help us regulate so that we can move forward and easy without defaulting back into an old program, okay? And they're little things that we can do to help our stress. And then we've got the time management. And the time management is mind management. And time management isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters the most, okay? So mastering time equals mastering stress equals gaining mental clarity. So here's the things. We need to prioritise with intention, batch similar tasks, use lists that simplify, not complicate. There is a chart called the Eisenhower Matrix, and it is amazing, and I use this with stuff now, and it comes in four different sections. It's the urgent and important, which means you do now. There's the important but not urgent, which is as you can do it, intuitive and flowing. Then there's the urgent but not important, you can delegate. Then there's neither important or urgent, so we can eliminate, okay? And then there's a thing called time mapping, which is MIT, most important tasks. And here's the thing, we identify 3 priority tasks every day. Complete them first before distractions set in. And this reduces stress and builds momentum. Now, I do this with my work, which is why I'm in a studio at the moment rather than doing this at home, because it makes me work. It's important, it needs to be done, and I have no distractions, okay? Our brain always focuses on the hard task, which causes procrastination, which then leads to stress because then we leave things to the last minute, which used to be my thing. I was the procrastinating queen, and I'd leave everything to the last minute, which then would cause so much stress. So here's an example of how our body loves to work. High energy tasks should be done in the morning, which is deep focus. Creative tasks should be done at midday, and low energy tasks should be done in the afternoon, like admin and catching up on invoices and creating, files for your clients and things like that, or whatever it is that you're doing. Stop forcing productivity at the wrong times, okay? Because you're fighting against yourself and your stress levels are just going to get higher and higher and higher. Then you've got the time audit challenge. So group similar tasks together like emails, meetings, and deep work to reduce switching fatigue, not going from one emotion to another or from one neural pathway to another and back and forth. Track one full day of activities and identify which energizing tasks you have and which time wasters. Now, the time wasters we're looking at is scrolling on the phone, Netflix, coffee, procrastinating. Oh, I've just got to do this. I've just got to take the washing off. I've just got to go feed the dog. I've just got to go make that phone call. They're time wasters. And what can you change to reclaim that focus, right, is by setting a timer. And I do this a lot when I'm doing my research or when I'm writing my programs or in the middle of writing my book. I set a timer. So, for example, I'll do half an hour, I'll have a 10-minute break. But I'll get up, I'll do something, I'll go outside, and then I'll set the timer to go back at 10 minutes so that I know that it's time to go back. So that's a really easy, simple task. Then there's list making that works, not overwhelms you, it works. Step 1, brain dump, write everything down. Step 2, prioritise using the Eisenhower matrix, which is that 4 quadrants that I just spoke about. Step 3, reword tasks into clear, actionable steps. Step 4, assign time and a deadline. Here's something I learned on this journey, and I continue to learn, is if your goal or if your next level doesn't have a date, it's just another thought. Now, this is part of relieving your stress. If you set yourself a date and a time, then you know what you need to do to get that thing done, okay? The problem is we leave everything to the last minute, then our stress levels go up and our brains don't work properly. So here's the thing, you cause yourself so much stress, but then you go, I haven't got time to walk, I haven't got time to go outside, I haven't got time to ground, I haven't got time to... Here's the thing, when you're in that high level of stress, you're not productive anyway. So take that 10 minutes or that 15 minutes to regroup, to reground, to recenter, because you're not good to yourself without it. So take that 10 or 15 minutes. Find ways to get yourself regulated, okay? And there's some these like really good strategies that I use. And the other thing is unshackling from overwhelm. The key is simplicity and alignment. Focus on what truly moves the needle whilst maintaining mental peace. Be realistic. For those overachievers and those perfectionists out there, be realistic. Look at what you need to do, not what you want to do. You would be surprised how much pressure you take off yourself when you have strategies like this in place. Okay? Your personalized time strategy is here. I want you to choose one of these to commit to this week. Okay? And one is the MIT, which is most important tasks. 2 is time blocking. 3 is the Eisenhower matrix. 4 is the delegation. Now, here's the final reflection on stress management and time management. I want you to take these notes down. What's your biggest takeaway from this session or this information? What belief about stress or time are you ready to change? What's one small shift you will commit to for the next 7 days? Now, as I said, this topic was very short because it's very simple when you have the strategies in place. Stress is hideous on our bodies. The body keeps score. Everything that we don't release stays in our body and it turns into disease. Dis-ease equals disease. Necks, shoulders, headaches, gut issues, back pain, knees, diverticulitis, as in bowel conditions. All those things are stress, absolute stress on your body. All our autoimmune, stress, childhood trauma, things that we're not cleaning up and we're not dealing with. So guys, these are really simple tasks to get you back on track with stress and time management. I hope these strategies have helped you. And again, as I always say, you know where I am, and I do a lot more depth with one-on-one and in the program. So have the most amazing week. Look forward to speaking to you all soon. Bye.